team. We were outplayed, we were outcoached. I mean, that's what happens in games like this. They made more plays than we did. They certainly got, when they made the big plays, they got a lot of energy out of their plays. And, you know, it just, as the game wore on, they got more and more confidence and executed better, found things that they could do, and they played better. We had some opportunities early in the game that we didn't take advantage of, and I think Yale, and again, my hat's off to them. You know, they were humbled last week, much like we were 2 weeks ago, and they picked themselves up and came up here and played a hell of a football game.
Questions?
Dan, you guys had good field position all game. Like, just couldn't get things going. What was the issue you think with the offense today?
It's just not playing together. I think we did a good job of communicating, or like I said, not being together on certain plays. Whether we got to get all 11 guys doing the right thing for a play to work, and just wasn't happening. I didn't play well. I have to say that obviously, but we just got to play together more.
Did it feel like a big contrast from last week in terms of execution?
Yeah, obviously, we saw what we could do last week, and something like this, was frustrating. After you don't, but we just got to pick it back up. Like I said, we got to stay together and fix our mistakes and figure out what we got to do.
Was it something Yale was doing that it looked like a couple plays where the receiver didn't even turn for the ball? That was something that was just a miscommunication, or was it something that Yale was doing on the other side?
Yeah, like I said, we didn't communicate well. We didn't play together, but Yale's a great defense. They're a great team. They come up here ready to play. I've been pressured all day. Their defense. They got some good guys up front, so they're a good team. But I think if we played together, communicated well, we could have a lot of big plays.
For the defensive players, I mean, you guys obviously were pretty solid all game except for those 2 drives that they kind of got on your way. What changed during those 2 drives? And what were you doing?
I just felt like Yale, to be honest, they wanted it more than us. They came out strong from the beginning. They made the big plays, we didn't. That was the difference in the game.
On our defense, consistency is key, and we came out. They came out fast. They kept, they were fast on the ball, and there were some plays. Some guys we let them get up on us. We gave them a little room to breathe, and that consistency wasn't there as it was last week, and that kind of let them get up on us a little bit.
Like, that's a damning thing to hear that they wanted it more than you. Do you agree with that too? They wanted it more.
I think as much as they wanted more, I mean, we wanted it coming out. But, it was just us. We had to be consistent overall. I mean, there was little things that we let up. I mean, as a team, as a defense, there's little things that we let up, and it wasn't a question of who wanted it more. It was just who was going to come out and put it out in the field.
2 more from the players, if anyone has them.
Randy, that last touchdown they got, like, they surprised you a little bit? Were you guys not ready for that play? Or?
I don't think they surprised us. We had the perfect call, but we just didn't execute. The QB made a good play. He been making good plays all day, but when it all comes down to it, we had the play call, but we didn't run it right. So that's what happened.
And you guys got turnovers in the first half, but not in the second half. I mean, I guess what's the difference there?
I mean, just overall, like I said, execution. I mean, it brings it back to the same one, repeating consistency. And we came out strong. That's like I said, we wanted. We had to perform on the field. It's just second half we came out. There was mistakes made, and from that happening, it just didn't cause us to cause big turnovers.
All set with the guys? All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, man.
Jeff, you said they got momentum from the big plays that they made. Was that block field goal like primary in your mind?
No, I was thinking they made a couple of catches they made that really kind of the one-handed catch by the tight end going by down to the scoreboard end, and then the one in the at the end of the first half where we should have intercepted it, and the kid caught it, got his feet down in bounds going in, and led to their field goal before the half. I just thought those were those are, you know, inspirational plays for them, momentum plays for them, and big plays for them. And, you know, they were, I watched them, it was spectacular plays by them. It spoke to their performance today.
It just didn't seem like you guys, kind of the converse, you guys really didn't have many of those emotional plays, especially on the offensive side.
No,
of the ball.
it was a game, you know, that the momentum swung their way. As I said, they, you know, early in we had some chances, obviously, and the longer it was a game, the longer that they, and again, coming off of the humbling defeat that they had last week. I mean, it was credit to them. At the beginning of the game, they hung in there. They fought with us. They went toe to toe with us. It was a physical game on both sides of the ball. And the longer, obviously, that they were in the football game, the more confidence they gained that they could come and beat us. They found their running game late in the second quarter. They got, you know, they had something they could hang their hat on, and they came out in the third quarter and really did that. They became a team that, you know, threw it a ton prior to this. That relied. I think the kid probably had 35 carries, I think, up around there, and he did a great job. And with his ball security too, they didn't get the ball to us.
Was it something coming into today, Coach, that was there any plans to use Belcher at all, or was it something they were doing that?
Yeah, I think because of the nature of the game early, yeah, that's a great question. I mean, it was wet, cold, and all of those things. I didn't feel like, you know, we didn't think it was fair to, you know, once we had gotten going, but it's probably something I'll look back on with regret.
Same question I asked Dan. You guys had, you seemed like you were at midfield the whole game. And
Yeah,
but never.
yeah, we had
managed
great
that.
field position, and we could just never make a play when we needed to, and that was, you know, it was pretty obvious. It was poorly thrown balls, drop balls, you name it. It just didn't happen, and we did not execute. And they out-executed us and outplayed us, outcoached us, and beat us.
And kind of compounding that, you guys really also didn't run the ball with much consistency
No,
today
we
either.
did not at all. No, we didn't. We had spotty, you know, for every good gain there was a negative play, you know. So that was very inconsistent, yeah.
You know, last scoring drive, those two big penalties that kind of kept that alive.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, how disappointing was that?
Yeah, we total lack of discipline, holding, and after the play was, you know, very disappointing, angering him, I guess is a better word.
Take two more from Coach if anyone has them.
You know, you got a similar defensive team coming in here next week. What are some of the things that you want to see the guys work on before the game with Stony Brook next week?
Well, not only a similar defensive team, big and physical, but you know, a very physical offensive team too that wants to run the football. So both of those things we really need to get to work on. I mean, we just did not play the way we're capable of. I think, and in many areas, there's a lot of. You can go across the whole team. We won as a team last week. We lost as a team today. We just not performed the way we needed to.
Jack, the block field goal, I mean, it looked like it was a low kick.
It was a low kick. Yeah, it was a low. And we're you know, we had a little bit of a we had a little nervous Nelly in there at center. You know, John Kay is his first snap, and you know, let's just say he didn't really help us with his initial protection. But you know, but the kick was low.
Thanks, Coach.